We met in college and started working together with a desire to serve God in missions specifically. And that journey took us through 10 years of training and preparation. And then we went to Alaska in 2007 with kids in tow and all of our stuff. And one of our strategic parts of serving in Alaska was using aviation as a tool to get out to remote places. And I was trained as a missionary pilot. And I think even in those early days of our years in Alaska, there was a fatigue setting in that was masked by our excitement and masked by our drivenness to be what God had sent us to be.
I had this idea that we would move to Alaska and we were there to encourage other missionaries and pastors living in the bush. You know, so you have that idea of how you're going to do that. Well, then you end up getting there and you don't even hardly have energy or time to take care of yourself or your kids. And how do you encourage somebody when you feel like you need that yourself?
Really, our life had all these demands, from working with our staff to raising our money to preparing airplanes and equipment and supplies to go out to these places. And then when it came to flight time, it was like, look at the weather, get the passengers ready, and go. And then when you're flying these long distances, all that you encounter along the way. And I was not coached or trained on how to rest well, eat well, live well, so that my body could sustain that kind of stress over a long period of time. And so through a number of circumstances, we began to realize that God was bringing change ahead for us, that there was transition coming, and I think it was His way of rescuing us from ourselves, from our own burnout. And we heard the invitation to come to Colorado and work with a different ministry and to be kind of learning a new way of life, and it's really become the inside job. It's become our next season of learning what it means to really pay attention to what's happening within me and within Natalie, within our children, so that what we're putting out and trying to do for others or do for God is sustained by plenty of self-care and attention to what I need and what I want in my life and in my work and in my marriage and with my kids. Well, a couple ways that we've learned to apply some of this inside work is in the areas of rhythm and Sabbath keeping. When I think of rhythm, it's just a simple idea of engaging and disengaging. And we've had to look at all the areas of our life where we're engaged with kids and with one another, with church, with our relationships and Cub Scouts and just all these things, and kind of measuring that with how often we're disengaged from it. And so rhythm has taught us to disengage from the pushing, the striving, the saying yes to every opportunity that seems good.
For us, rhythm has been huge because you can change some things. You can eliminate some responsibilities or say no to certain things, but your life is still busy no matter how you look at it. So for us, it's been an awareness of this is the world that I live in, that God has put me in. How am I going to live it the way He has made me?
There has been a major paradigm shift just in recent years. And it's really, I think, coming from understanding that I'm not just a machine. I am a soul. And Natalie is a soul. And we need care. And the same attention I gave to aircraft engines and making sure their maintenance was perfect is the same attention that I've had to figure out how to apply to myself. And the cool thing is that as we have tweaked and worked on our inside job, we are seeing freedom that's coming from those outer expectations are being freed.